Well, hello and welcome to the June 2019 Marvin Gardens video. And you're looking at one of the significant events of this month, which is a new fire pit. I got tired of flimsy little fire pits where the bowl rusts out in the one season and whatever tile work they have surrounding them peels off and disintegrates. So I decided to go for something a little more substantial. And this was from a kit at Lowe's, and it's cement block, and there's a very thick metal liner there, and it's also 36 inches across, which makes it fit logs a whole lot better. And it's just a lovely fire pit so far. And I got the large size grill and ember catcher cover to go with it, and got a nice fire going in there this evening. And today is a special day because it is June 21st, and almost 8 hours ago exactly was the summer solstice. So we are officially in summer. Starting with our herb garden here, that's Asian basil that's coming up there. Got a little slow start, but it's doing well. Then we got our chives. Back in the back is the wild arugula, and we already harvested quite a bit of that and cut it back, and it's coming back in. In front of that is parsley, which is looking good. We've harvested it. In fact, I think I have a still of our herb harvest basket. Those stalks there are from cilantro, and then over on the far side here is the Asian chives, or garlic chives. But it's been June is just an extremely busy month, and events come and go before we even get around to doing the video. So let me show you a few things that happened earlier this month, and then we'll continue on. So this is June 1st, and so it is officially going to be part of the June 1st video. But by the time I shoot the June video, these will be long gone. So I wanted to show you our cauliflower. This is the snow crown cauliflower, and it is ready to be harvested, and that's what we're going to do right now, this morning of June 1st. And meanwhile, Cassie, and like I say, all the dogs have developed a taste for brassicas for some reason, which is why I also have, since the last video, put around this temporary dog blocker, but we're letting her in while we're harvesting. Anyway, snow crown cauliflower, June 1st. So it's still very early June, the first week of June, and what you're looking at is where we harvested the cauliflower from. And you can see I've got the second plantings of brassicas filling those voids. But also what's going on now is we're getting some broccoli that's ready to be harvested. And I wanted to show you these lovely heads before I pull them. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, most of these are ready to go. This one here is a little bit on the small side, so they can stay. But these here, and here's my hand to give you some perspective of the size. So they're nice, good size heads, but they're starting to look like they're about to flower. So you always want to get them pulled while the heads are still tight. And we also, hi everybody. We also pulled most of the pak choi and the bib lettuce. I think I have some shots of them either in the refrigerator or in the basket. That was because they were starting to go to seed, so they're in the fridge, and hopefully they will keep well in the fridge until we get a chance to use them. But anyway, that's what's going on here. Still in the first week of June. So today we are just about smack dab in the middle of June, and there's another June event that won't be visible by the time we get around to shooting the June video. So I wanted to share that with you today. And what it is let me get the camera turn around here and show you what we're talking about here. I have to make sure I don't trample on any of the young plants. But this is the second variety of cauliflower, and as you can see, if I can carefully move this stuff out of the way, that's one fine looking cauliflower head. It's called Skywalker, and you can see where I've flipped over these leaves to mask cauliflower from the sun so that it stays nice and white. But look at the size of this guy. I'll tip these leaves back a little bit and get out here and then put my hand down here so you can basically see the size of these guys. That one is just gorgeous. Again, this is a Skywalker variety. This one's, I don't know, I'm going to have to, as I open them up, see which ones are ready. Oh, this one's ready. You can't really see the size of it, but it definitely is. So 3, maybe 4 we're going to pick right now, and I'll line them up and do another shot of them once we're done. But this is the middle of June, second variety of cauliflower. So I ended up pulling 4 of them. I thought they were plenty big enough to be pulled. The other 3 or 4 will probably be ready in the next couple of days. But anyway, before I take all the leaves off, because I will do that before they go inside to the kitchen, they just make such an impressive display with all the big leaves on them. So I'm just going to show you that. And it's a little hard to tell the size from that picture, but here, I'll zoom in on one here and stick my hand in there, and that gives you a pretty good idea of the size. This one is no smaller. This one might be the bigger, and you know, they're all pretty good size. So now I'll take the leaves off and we'll get them into the kitchen. Now, while we're sitting here on bed 1, you may have noticed this chicken wire fencing that has come up here, and you may have seen in a slightly earlier video that it was at first black plastic temporary fencing, all for the sake of keeping marauding dogs with taste for brassicas out of the beds, because they literally, as you might recall, pulled up a couple of full plants before they were ready and were munching down on them. So this, I believe, is my permanent solution, and although every once in a while I trip over it getting in and out of the bed, I'm hoping I'll learn where it is and that won't be a problem anymore. And it is quite effective at keeping the pups out so that I can dole out brassica leaves and things like that as I see fit, rather than what they want happening. Right there, Cassie. She's a good gardening dog. She likes it out here. All right, let's get back to the real business and let the originally shot garden video take over. So this isn't so much an event of June as it is an omission from June and an omission from May as well. I completely forgot about in the May garden video the fact that I have all the artichokes planted out here, and sure enough I did the June video and completely forgot about them again, so that's no good. What this is used to be this whole section on this side of bed 1, which is all the brassicas. It was kind of no man's land, where I would mulch over with hay and dig it up a little bit and plant whatever leftover seedlings I had. Well, since the fence went down about where these tiger lilies are, and I could push out a little bit more, I decided to make no man's land a little narrower and a little pushed out, and it was perfect for one long row of artichokes. I think the biggest one is right down here, but no sign of any bulb yet. If I recall correctly, they don't come till later on. So, but the plants themselves look like they're doing okay. I can't quite remember how fast they're supposed to grow, but there you have it. Oh, and a stray no man's land tomato as well. Okay, Frankie and Cassie are participating in the tour here, and as I mentioned in one of those videos, you can see the new perimeter anti-puppy fencing that we have because of the taste for brassicas that the dogs seem to have developed. Anyway, here we are with cabbages, which are looking huge compared to last month, and they are beginning to head up. They'll probably be ready to go probably early July, maybe a little bit later. And then here where the cauliflowers have been harvested is just a mixture of second planting of different brassicas, whatever I had. And there's a couple more of the Skywalker cauliflower that are still due. Now these are all the broccoli, and I'm waiting to see if maybe they're going to send up side shoots. So far I don't see any, so if that's the case, we'll just take them out and plant something out there. Now this used to be pak choi, and I decided to plant carrots over here because they need to be protected from dachshunds as well, so and bichons for that matter. So got a couple of rows of them coming in. Now we harvested quite a bit of kale, but we just took the leaves, the lower leaves, and these upper leaves are still going to be coming in and doing fine. Vanina made kale chips and kale soup, and we also blanched and froze quite a bit. That brings us down to Brussels sprouts here, which have grown enormously since the last time. And if you look way down there, there's some Brussels sprouts that are probably ready to go. I just need to dig in there to the lowest ones and get them, because I think they're plenty big enough. Oh, and the theme has continued. The theme being lots of rain and wet weather. I think we're about to get into a stretch where the sunny days outnumber the wet days, but we've just been hammered all the way along, and not because we've been drinking too much. The compost heap growing slowly, but I have, courtesy of Hidden River Farms, a trailer load of manure to add to the the pile, which I will do a little later this month. And there I am. Hello, guys, again. There's a lot going on inside this grow house, and I'm going to kind of switch media, and Frankie's barking at my shadow. Get him, boy. Get that strange cowboy. Anyway, I shot a separate segment for what's going on inside here, so we'll go to that, and then we'll meet up again in a minute. Okay, we are inside the grow house here, and the temperature is probably well over 100, and the humidity is, if it's possible to be over 100, it probably is too. That's why I'm shirtless, but you don't need to concentrate on that. So let's get turned around here, and I'll see what I can do here. As you can see, I may have overplanted a little bit in here, but that's really by design. I wanted to just see how much I could grow in here, and even if they were overcrowded, whether they would be able to peacefully coexist. Now, if you look back here, the zipper, which is the entranceway that I came in, is zipped up because we are really trying to keep the bad bugs out. But because we're keeping the bad bugs out, we're also keeping the good bugs out, aka the bees, or the pollinators. So that's what this is for. This is a little paintbrush, and as you can see, there's, or you might be able to see, there's some pollen on there, because this is what we use to come in here every morning to pollinize. Now, I've got the GoPro camera here. I've switched mediums, and I've got it mounted on a gimbal, which is a Steadicam kind of thing, so that I don't make you motion sickness. But because of that, I'm also working with one hand in here, so I'm going to try to show you what I do, but I don't know how well it's going to be. First of all, it's like ballet to find a place to put your foot once you get inside here without, trampling on a leaf, a vine, a blossom. So looking down here, this is a male blossom, and you can tell it's a male blossom because there's no fruit on the back of it. And so I start by just hitting up any obviously open male blossoms, and then I look for female blossoms, and I saw one in here. It's just a matter of finding it and getting it into camera view. This is a female blossom, and you can tell that because you can see the little scallop squash that's back behind there. So all we need to fertilize is to put the brush that's filled with male pollen right in the center of the female blossom there, and that's it. So we just go through, and like I say, we have 4 varieties in here. In the far corner there is a zucchini. In the other far corner is pumpkin. And here right next to me is spaghetti squash. And there are a few spaghetti squash that are starting to grow that are on the ground, which I'll try to show you here as I make my way across. I did spot one of those spaghetti squashes. You can see that guy is starting to grow, so he got himself fertilized somehow. Now we've made our way to the zucchini area. I don't see any open males or females on the zucchini plant, but I do see that zucchini there. So he's not quite big enough to be pulled yet. I see lots of pumpkin male blossoms open, so I'll just get a couple of those. But I have yet to see a pumpkin female. So I think that's all the pollinating we're going to be able to do today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these bags, which I leave resident in here just for this purpose, and then I'm going to make my way back to that pair of scissors right there, which is conveniently placed over the scallop squash because that's where most of the activity is now, at least from the harvesting point of view. And this is where the camera work might get kind of dicey because I'm holding the bag and the camera in one hand and the scissors in the other. But so I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see, but like I say, I'll edit as necessary. So there's one of harvestable size and not beyond prime harvest. So we clip that, put it in the bag. Let's see if any of these others. There's one down here that I think would be get. And that's, I'm just hoping I can grab it out of there. And hoping you see it. I think I'll leave that other one for tomorrow. Could be harvested today, but why not wait until it's perfect? Since we come in here every single day, I can hear leaf stalks snapping as I try to tiptoe through here. So I hope creating this environment is not more detrimental to the vegetables than they are helpful. But that's going to do it. The main thing that we're trying to accomplish in here is keeping cucumber beetles out and keeping squash bugs out. I mean, there's an occasional fly I've seen buzzing around here. There's which may have come up from the soil, and I've seen a few ants, which probably actually did some help with the pollinating. But we'll see. It's very hot in here. I hope it's not too hot for the plants. It's very humid. Squash luckily like warm, humid weather, so that's good at least. But if they don't get burned up in here, and we do manage to keep the squash bugs out and the cucumber beetles out, and we avoid mildew and fungus because we're watering from underneath rather than on top with the drip watering system. That's what we're trying to do here, and at least we're getting some fruits. So before I expire from heat exhaustion, I'm going to get myself out of here. All right, here we are again, and I'm already having trouble with this zipper. It's a cheap plastic thing, and it gets all off track and everything like that. So I'm gonna have to come up with a different solution for getting in and out of there. But for now, it's working okay. All right, so if you remember last time, the rosemary were barely detectable. They're still growing very slowly, but they are growing and getting bigger, so that's pretty good. Now the onions, on the other hand, were growing pretty good last time, but now they're just taking off, and as you can see, if you look in there, they are bulbing very nicely as well. Those are the Pattersons. Over here you can see the reddish color of these red wings, and finally the candy, which traditionally are the biggest of the bunch. I have these planted very tightly, so they're kind of crowding each other a little bit. But that's okay. They should do fine. There's a nice big one there. You can see. So that's just what we like them to see, or like to see with the onions this time of year. I love it when they're like this. It's before they've started to fall over, but they're bulbing like crazy. All right, so that brings us over to this bed. The bee balm has continued to take off. We have yet to see any blooms yet, but I think there's some buds on the top of those right now. And these are peppers, and if you look closely, you can see a little pepper there starting to come in. They're also blooming. A couple of varieties here, and then our 4 varieties of tomatoes, which are also showing lots of tomatoes. You can see those in there. That's New Girl. This is, I think, Grandinero, which is a kind of Italian, and these nestled in here are our favorite here, Juliet's. So the tomatoes are doing well. As you can see, they're about 3/4 of the way up the cages, and that's what we like to see. Okay, that brings us to this other bed here, and what you see here is the second planting of pak choi, which I decided to plant over here so that I could plant carrots behind the protective fencing. These little shoots here are from lettuce where we just cut off and left the roots, and so they sprouted some shoots, so we decided to let them go. This is bib lettuce, needs to be thinned, coming in nicely. This is the first planting of scallions, the purple variety. Don't dig there, please. Franklin. No digging. Boy. Excuse me. Boy. No digging there. Not in the beds. You should know better. Sorry for having to stop and discipline my children. And then this is a row of radishes, the second planting of radishes, and a nice row of carrots. And then here, I don't know what the heck happened to these spinach plants. Yesterday they looked absolutely gorgeous, and today this happened, and I have no idea why. I didn't spray them with anything, so I don't know what happened. Spinach. Go figure. Anyway, more peppers here, and more peppers coming in if you look closely there. So that's good. They look fine. And the eggplants are blooming like crazy. You can see all those blooms. Maybe if I look closely, I might be able to find an eggplant that's actually starting, but I think it's mostly just blooms so far. But they're looking very healthy, and we've been able to keep ahead of the flea beetles. And these are the peanuts. And I was a little concerned that they seem to be growing slower than I thought, but when I looked back at the last month's video, they have grown quite a bit. Now, I think they're closed up now, but if you see those little flecks of yellow, those are the blossoms. And with peanuts, it's so weird. Those blossoms actually dip down after they bloom. They dip down and actually burrow into the soil, and that's where the peanuts grow. Very strange and curious, but kind of fun. Now, this sort of vacant looking row is where the celeriac was supposed to be, and if you remember last time, we only had one seedling survive. that one seedling is doing fine. And it just so happens that from the ones that I planted, I direct seeded as a last ditch effort to get some more. I did get some to come up, so I think we're going to get maybe four celeriac plants out of the deal. But only that one is kind of on schedule. This next row is all okra. I had some trouble getting those seedlings going too, so I direct seeded quite a few, and they almost all came up. So we're going to get a nice row of okra here, at different timing stages. Now these nice big looking plants, surprisingly enough, are ground cherries, and once they got in the open garden, they just took off. And I don't know if you can see right there, that is a ground cherry coming in. Oh, that's a pretty good sized one right there too. So they are very happy and doing fine. That brings us to our only variety of pole beans. I can't quite remember the name of them, but if you look closely there, you can see that we've got some skinny little bean pods coming in, and those nice purple blooms. They come in as a purple color. When you cook them, they turn green, but they're doing quite well. So just to show you the back of the grow house where all the squash is, I decided to plant sunflowers and zinnias, and one of the zinnias is starting to bloom. The zinnias are just starting to bloom wherever they're planted out here. So let's go take a look at the asparagus, but I'm just going to pop out there to save some time. So here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, pop! And here we are. Now, the same thing with the asparagus. I was hoping that they would be bigger by this time. They're doing okay, and of course a lot of them got their tops chewed off by I believe a deer early on, so that's not good. But they are surviving, and we got a nice hay mulch, newspaper and hay mulch down here to control the weeds that Vanina was working on last time we were here. Although I do see some weeds popping up that I need to take care of. But we'll just see how they do, and see what comes up next spring, because we're not going to do any harvesting this year for sure. They have to go for a full year. Let's go back to the garden. 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, pop. And after 8 o'clock, the sun is still a ways above the horizon, and setting quite nicely. Oh, look at these! Look at these candy onions, getting big. Very nice. All right, so let's take a look, see how the fire pit's going. Going pretty well. Got a nice fire we got going here, finally. And look at how these planters have come in. This is bee balm in the back, and the perennials that Vanina planted. These sunflowers are getting to be almost 4 feet tall, and I've got these bee balms definitely budding, getting ready to bloom, and there's tomatoes in there too. So things are looking nice around here. We also kind of reconfigured the way the chairs are set, and we kind of beefed up the pavers in there so they're a little bit higher, and we think it's maybe a more comfortable place. Dragged the hammock out here too, because I don't know, it just seemed like it made sense to have it out here. That was Vanina's idea. Uh-oh. Dachshunds are playing. This is this is something. This is kind of a big deal because one of the reasons I got Cassie was to play with Frankie. Hold on, let me get it. And this is an extended play session. There's nothing like a good old game of chase, right, guys? I know this is a diversion from the from the gardening. Oh, that's Cassie. Look at that. Oh, I love seeing that. These guys are playing together. All right, I won't. I'm just so tickled that that's happening, because that's like I say, one of the reasons I really wanted somebody that would play with Frankie, and looks like we're finally getting around to that, which is nice. Meanwhile, Queen Jolie is in her typical throne and kind of pouting because she doesn't want to be out here. We got, by the way, did get some strawberries coming in here. I'm not showing it very well, but there it is. Just a few from this bucket, so, but a few is better than none. So, there go the charged up dachshunds. Hope somebody doesn't fall in the pond. Pond is kind of backlit, so it's a little hard to see. But it is blooming and lovely. The fish have been fed. We've added lots of flowers, as you can see. And one thing I'm particularly proud of is this calla lily, which we wintered over inside under the lights. And there's another little calla lily plant there in that floater, and which also wintered over in the bedroom window, and some other plants that we bought for the floaters there, as well as the what are they called? Sorry, the water hyacinths, one of which bloomed briefly. They're doing pretty well. And we've got our overflow here, which I rescued a bunch of tadpoles from a puddle that was about to dry up. And I think we've had a lot of little teeny tiny frogs come out of that mess of tadpoles. Impatience and the well. This is the off the back deck planting of asparagus, which, like I said before, I think is about 10 years old. And then, of course, we've got interspersed in there sunflowers, which are doing pretty well too. I think the only thing left to show you is fruit trees, and so far the pear tree is doing just great. You can see the number of pears that are swelling up and surviving, so there's a good chance we're going to get a nice crop of pears this year. What we aren't going to get is a nice crop of nectarines and peaches, although we do have one there, and there might be I think I counted 4 the other day that look like they might make it. I can't tell if yeah, there it is. It's in the center there, you could probably see. But most of the nectarines fell off, as did most of the peaches. I think we might have 1 or 2, but I can't even find one at this point, so we're not going to do much in the peach department. But we do have a pretty good garden going, and some pretty excited dachshunds around here. Hi, Cassie. Good girl. What a good girl. But that is going to do it. And I guess I'll actually say hello face to face to close out. Nothing going on in the greenhouse except for the Christmas lights are in there, so that makes it look festive. And I'm going to sit down and have another brewski and enjoy the fire pit here a little bit before going inside. So that's going to do it. This is Marvin Gardens, June 2019, and this is the first day of summer. Summer solstice being, let's see, almost 8.5 hours ago. So welcome to summer. Have a great summer, and hope you had a great spring. And we'll see you next time in July. And you know what I say about July? It's the high holy days of gardening. So hopefully we'll have good things to show you when we come back. See you next month, everybody. Bye.